The CinnamonToastKen channel has been around for the beginning of time, or for a very, very long time, for 12, 13 years now of my life, has been working on this channel. And those of you that have been watching me for a very long time, you know that I have some skeletons in my closet. I got some sore spots that stick out that I talk about quite often. Such like this tweet that I made the other day, right? Don't let people devalue you. Something I hear all the time. PewDiePie made you. He shouted you out. You wouldn't be anything without him. 100% he's helped my career. That shout out took my channel from 1,500 to 3,000 subs 10 years ago. Most people don't even realize he shouted another channel out in that video. The difference is I kept going. Through continuing to make content, networking, put up with a bunch of stuff, I now have everything I ever wanted. People always run their mouth and make you feel worthless or nitpick your shortcomings. It's important to realize what you have and appreciate it.
That's powerful right there.
Wise words from the great sage Ken, right? And so it's taken me pretty much my entire career to come to this, my own realization here. And there are a lot of scars. There's a lot of pain going through my content creation. I was telling Mary that I was going to make this video, and she was like, "Are you sure you want to make that? Is it going to be healthy for you?" And I was like, "Mary, I've been thinking about it, and I can't. If I don't make it, I'm going to go crazy anyway. So I got to make it." But anyway, so one of the things that have always like really cut me deep is when people tell me that like Felix made me, and me and Felix have been great friends for years. But it like completely overlooks the fact that I continued making content and how much a shout out from one of the biggest creators on the platform and the biggest individual creator for many, many years. It's almost like whatever I did didn't matter because of his size, right?
Shout out. Right.
Yeah. Like it's, whoever's the biggest, all credit for everything goes to them, it seems. And it caused a lot of frustration. And we stayed friends, but there were arguments that happened. But I wanted to go back through my entire channel and talk about the shout out, like when Mary came, when the good times, the very depressing times, when Dane come around, and just kind of just go through the whole thing and show you guys my channel analytics, my views, and just take you kind of through the whole thing. So right here, we got my channel for the entirety of its existence. And if you're a creator and you're watching this, then there's probably one thing that sticks out to you. It's that really big part right in the middle where everything dipped. This part right here. Yeah, we're going to get to that, okay? Oh, man.
What is that?
We're going to get to all that. And Dave, don't worry about how much that revenue sets up there. Don't worry about that, okay? Chill out.
Woo! Before you dive, right? Because I believe this is going to be a great dive. One thing that I wanted to tell everybody was that I've been Ken's friend for a very long time. And one thing I can say is this man has always worked his tail off doing what he's been doing and been consistent. And honestly, it's inspiring to me. You know what I mean? Like, just, I can't imagine how many more people, but like, you know what I mean? So before anybody says anything, realize that this man literally built it up before the shout out. I'm sure this is all coming, but kept going and has continued to go and go and go. So I just kudos, man, and you deserve all of it. So that's where I wanted to go.
Thank you. It's very kind of you. It makes me feel pretty good. I should also add that the whole like the shout out thing is not this whole video isn't like a look at me, like some defense of me feeling bad about anything. It's not. Now, I think the inspiration for making the video probably does come from that, but it's just kind of I don't know, something I just really wanted to talk about because I do feel like there's a pretty interesting story for not people that, just want to start YouTube, but people that are fans of the channel and people that have been doing it for a long time if they want to go through it. All right. So this goes all the way back from the channel's creation back in February 27th, 2011, all the way up until the date of today, which is September 14th, 2023. I had a roommate, his name was Jacob, and he liked making like Dragon Ball Z, I forget what you call them, had like the music and everything, the montage stuff. and like Halo clips and things like that. And he's the one that got me into like even being interested in YouTube, even watching it. And he showed me a gameplay of a guy playing Silent Hill 2. And I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. This would be kind of fun. I like people to watch me play video games. Like my younger brother and sister always watch me play games. Like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I want to play games. So that like put the bug in me. 2 years later, I actually started the channel. And I remember messaging him because I had like a couple of names in my head. One of them was Death Pot Pie. Can you imagine? Because my World of Warcraft character was called Death Pot Pie. And then there was another one that was like called Apple Jackson. And I messaged him. I was like, what should I name this channel? And he was eating CinnamonToastKen. He's like, name it CinnamonToastKen. And I was like, done. Easy. That's great. So Jacob, you know who you are out there, is pretty much the sole inspiration for me even starting my channel and picking the name. He's always been a good dude. Had a pirated version of some editing software, you know, the whole basic starter kit that a lot of people have. I did Amnesia pretty early on. I had like some Minecraft, but then there's like big areas of just nothing being in here. A lot of these got deleted. A lot of the really old stuff got deleted because I was adding stuff that later on got like copyright claimed, or I was like going to get in trouble for doing, and so I just got rid of them, like adding music and stuff like that. And I decided, looking back, I wish I didn't get rid of them, but I did. And later that year, the moment happened that everyone always tells me about and everyone talks about. Right here, November 12th, 2011, the shout out from PewDiePie. So Felix was all playing Amnesia at the time. He had someone made a custom game, and he was like, oh, that's cool. Play the game, give me a video reply, which you could do back in the day, and I'll pick the winners. And so we went through, and it was me all the way right here, just to warn you that you can never leave here. God, I was so bad. It was me and another guy called Rutik Surf, I think, who was another Swedish dude who since deleted his channel. Felix told me he didn't even actually pick me. Marzia picked me. Finally, he shouted out, and I was just like, yes, this is the best day of my life. It's so great. And so right here on the views, right, I went from getting about 1,000, close to 2,000 views a day. It was building up, build up, shouted me out, 7,000. Ooh, boy, I was happy.
That's a big jump, though.
Yeah,
At the time.
Oh yeah, it literally like doubled my subscriber count. But the thing about the subscriber is, on the day that he did it, I got 452 subscribers on the shout out day. But then days later, I don't know what I released because it's been deleted since then. December 12th, I got 1,000. Bam. So the shout out, it did help. I'm not taking anything away from that, because you go to like the next thing. The shout out, this is the right before the shout, October 13th, 2011 till the rest of 2012. Here was the shout out right down here, way down there. You see that?
Yeah.
And so the channel went from getting an average of like 1,000 views, and then it jumped up to about between 2,000 and 3,000. And then it just started growing from there. Throughout, we get to 2012, I'm getting like 15,000 views a day. Later in the year of 2012, 26,000, getting up to 30,000 views a day. The channel it's growing. Like in comparison, it's it's going, Every time I worked with Felix, it was just like, bam, a quick boost. Right. And then it dies off. And like during like this time right here, when everything started growing bigger, I started finally actually kind of figuring out how to YouTube a little bit, because I was never good at it. When I started out, I was bad. Everything I did, I learned from watching other people and just was trying to emulate it, because I didn't really have my own style or anything. It was very stiff. But I started playing the Walking Dead playthrough, playing the cat lady, and kind of getting into that horror scene with Amnesia and horror themed things, right? I'm feeling pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, and then during this time, I think I signed with an MCN. Felix is with another MCN, and they had like a unethical contract, which I told the guys I was with about it, and they were like, "Whoa, that's messed up. We can get him out of that." And so I like talked to Felix and helped him meet those guys so he could get out of that contract and actually like, I can't even imagine what it'd be like if he was still in that crap contract. But anyway, did my boy a solid. He did me one. Yeah. I wanted to pay it back. And then we go through the next year, January 2013. all the way to December 31st, 2015. This is the golden age of CinnamonToastKen right here, Dane.
Oh, look at that mountain right there.
In 2013 is when I met Mary, and she came over, and we ended up moving to LA, and I did not enjoy moving to LA at all. Like, I thought it was going to be better. I got there and I didn't like it. And so all I had to do really was just make content. Like, I didn't go out and do anything. I just stayed in my house and made content. We're now here in this area right here, this big,
oh, wow,
100,000 views a day going up. Boom, 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 you know, getting like 900, hitting over a million views in a day. And at this point, because of like working with Felix and working with other guys, is people compared us a lot back then. Like, this is where it all began. The whole like not feeling like anything I was doing mattered to me. Like, I didn't have any self-worth in it. My self-worth was tied very heavily to my content too, because like I said, we moved to LA. I had Mary there, but I was very unhappy. And so I just kind of became my channel, if that makes sense. Right. And so if the views were down, I would be down. If the views were up, I would feel good. So it was growing and I felt great. And I was like, finally, this is the time where I can join the gods of YouTube. My channel is freaking taking off. I wish I would know what I know now, because over the years, I kind of figured out myself and like the kind of content that I wanted to make and like my style of commentary. Yeah. But this is the time where I was still just emulating and I really didn't have any idea what I was doing. But anyway, it's in 2015. I'm on top of the world, but then it starts to dip. During this time, YouTube started making changes. I think they had changed CEOs during this time, or maybe not. I can't remember when she got there. But they started making a lot of changes. And so a lot of old stuff that was getting a lot of views and a lot of, like, as you can see, like almost shocking thumbnails, all these flash games that was playing, like the Whack Your Ex, where she's pooping on the dude's face, and the Cooking Mama PETA edition, with, you know, all this gross stuff was getting a lot of views. And since it was, I was making more of it. But then YouTube decided that's not what they wanted. So there you go. Just as quickly as it came, it started going down. And this is around the time I think we moved back to Mississippi. It started going down. I started feeling worse. I wanted to get out. So we quit. We got out of the lease. We moved back in the channel. Oh, it's going back up again. And then even quicker than it went down before, just like almost a straight drop off.
Oh, look at that at the end, dude.
Yeah. And when it fell off, so did like my self-esteem, my self-worth, everything went with it. Now, here is a closer view of, this is January 1st, 2015, all the way through July 1st, 2019.
Jeez.
So this is a like 4-year period, starting with like what at the time was the pinnacle of my channel. Like the highest peaks I'd ever reached. I call this the dark ages. So during this time, we had moved back. We had Layla during this time. I think we had a Rav during this time too. Having the family was a fantastic thing for me because it gave me something else to focus on. Because I was not in a good place during most of this. Like every day was like, I don't know what I should make. My channel's dead. I mean, I'm still getting like, 100,000, 200,000 views a day compared to before when I was on cloud 9 after, my channel was growing and thinking that everything was fantastic. But since my baseline had gone up so much, this was just terrible. And the thing and I kept doing it because it was still paying me more than I could do in a normal job. And I kept saying, I don't have anything to complain about. I have a fantastic job. This is like, I'm still working the dream job, but all the comparisons to other people, everyone, saying like, PewDiePie, this, that, and it built up a lot of resentment and a lot of really negative feelings.
A lot of it was just like, dead channel. I don't know why dead channel was what we kept reading and it kept being brought up.
Yeah. Yeah. People kept saying it and it kept digging into me until I accepted it. Whew. It was rough. It made me, I felt awful. Mary stuck with me through all my issues I had here. I got on antidepressants at one point because like literally my soul was my channel. Right. And so even though I'm still doing better than I could working a regular job. I'm still doing well just because my baseline was set so much higher. My expectations of myself were so much higher that I was just beating myself up all the time. Like I said, I didn't know what to do. I ended up hiring, at this time I was editing my own videos before and I stopped. I hired IGP at one point, to edit for me. M's Arcade, I hired her, after him. And I remember I'd ask them like, what do you guys think I should do? I was just trying to find something. I was still doing gameplay. And then I was talking to Felix and Felix was like, hey man, you should try doing reaction content. And also during this time, me and Felix are still doing things together too. Like I would still play a game or something together. And so on top of that, I'm still watching all my people, like some of my best friends flourish and have fantastic careers. And I'm over here like, why not me? Which was also part of why I got stuck in this for so long, is because I wasn't trying to innovate anything. I wasn't trying to change. I was just riding the same thing out. I was just making the same videos every day. And people that watch it, they could tell, right? And so that went on for a long time. And that was hard. The dark ages. It was not, it went on for a very long, like I'm surprised, like looking back at it, this chart from 2015, 2019, like feeling like this, like for 4 years and like trying to find ways to cope and things to tell myself to keep myself going and lashing out and being angry about it. But then it gets better. So don't worry. It finally gets better.
It's not the collapse, people.
It's not the collapse. But this is like the time period where people were like, when people would say like, PewDiePie made me, that I would go back and I would have misplaced anger because I'm like, well, if he made me, then explain this, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it lasted longer than I said. I forgot. The Dark Ages lasted until 2020. So we got the previous screen, like right around, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is the entirety of the Dark Ages right here. January 1st, 2016 through January 1st, 2021. So retcon that, 5 years. 5 years of not doing so hot. And you'll also notice there's a very big spike in this. There's a very big one. Like one day right here, I got 1.8 million views. So this part right here is when me and Felix played Minecraft together.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so this was the second episode that we did. I put my video up, and it was getting recommended almost as if it was a PewDiePie video. It was weird. So I was getting a lot of views, and even Felix was like, dude, your video's getting so many views. And he put his up, and I think he got less views than normally. Anyway, there was like a weird algorithm thing that happened here to where I got like a massive view thing. And like, before this, I'm getting 200,000. After this, I'm still, getting the same. And I think somewhere, when did we start making videos together? Was it 2017?
End of 17 or 18.
So I got to a point to where I was pretty much done. I was pretty much done with content. Like, even I was still going through the steps, but I was like checked out, right? I was just autonomously making more content so I can make money and pay my rent, pay my house bills. And so I was like, Dane, look, man, you got a good personality. I think you could actually be a content creator yourself. Do you want to make some videos with me? And Dane was like, sure, whatever, we'll try it out. We sat down and we recorded and we had fun. Had a good time. I enjoyed making it.
Like on the couch, baby. That was on the couch.
Yeah. It was fun again. I was like, you know what? If we can do it like this, I can keep making videos. This is a lot of fun. And so Dane started coming over, falling asleep on the couch, running from spiders.
Attack me.
Yeah. And so we started making this content, having fun, but the channel performance really didn't change that much. It grew slightly. I think people started picking up that we're having a good time. We're having fun. Our content, and of course, doing collaborations with Felix and other guys. It always helps. But again, the point, I guess, when it comes to that shout out stuff is that it has an effect, but it falls off quickly, especially at this point. Like if I got 1.8 million views in one day, like 2 days later, it's down to like 400,000. Like it slopes off very quickly. And that's been the case every single time. So if you're out there wanting a shout out from your favorite creator, it will help you, but it doesn't like massively change everything.
Yeah. Your career's not all of a sudden made
Yeah. So like that's the shout out. Like you have to have your own content there. It's like me and like you and you doing your own channel. Like people that go check you out, you have to continue to make new stuff and you have to already have a backlog of stuff they can watch.
Yeah.
So anyway, but here at the end of the year, 2020, it starts picking up more. We start getting like a bigger average. We start doing, it's not showing it, but it's like, you know, the parents catfish their daughter. We start doing meme couch. I start working a little more on the thumbnails and trying to make them better. I actually asked Felix to like give me some pointers on Photoshop because like he always made good thumbnails, and he was like, sure. He'd like sent me a whole video of like a tutorial. Always been super helpful. And so the channel starts growing again. And then Dane, the second coming, the resurrection happens. We're back, baby. So 2021, right around the March, the channel is getting, you know, we're getting 200,000, 250,000 views a day. The sucker starts shooting up. Bam. First big hill. We're hitting, God, 1 million views a day. It dips back down a little bit. Nope. The second one, 1.4. Oh, but the third one, we're hitting nearly 2 million views a day. And I'm sitting there just like, what happened?
What did we do?
What has changed? And the thing is that nothing really changed.
No,
like we kept doing the same thing. And it started blowing up. I started doing more collaborations. I started doing trade-offs with people. Be like, hey, let's make, you know, do a video for me, do a video for you, you know, kind of thing. And like me and Felix did that. Got like Jack and Ethan and Charlie and started, you know, just reaching out to different people. Which again, like I'm bringing up Felix a lot because Felix is a big part of the whole channel and its growth. Felix is always the most easy one to work with. Not that the other guys were hard or anything, but like when you do a collaboration on YouTube, it's like, hey man, are you free this day? You free that day? Oh yeah, well I got this going on. And it's very like formal emails almost. Like you're just kind of like trying to find a time. With Felix, it's always like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Nothing. Want to record a video? Yeah, sure. You know, and that's it. We go, we do it. And so you'll notice down here that a lot of these videos, you know, me and Felix. But if you can, like all these videos down here, they add up to about 20 million views. And we started doing To Catch a Predator in here, like some TLC. Not all these are with Felix, but in total, all these add up to 20 million views, around 320 million views. So a chunk of that is the collaborations, but it's not all of it. Did they help grow everything? Absolutely. Were they the make or break? No. And that's the thing that I had to realize. And a thing I just wish other people realize too is that you can't make it in content creation unless you're also creating your own content. Felix can shout out whoever he wants. Mr. Beast can shout out anyone. If they're not making their own content, it doesn't do anything, you know?
Yep.
So anyway, the channel started growing again here, and boy, I am on top of the world. You know, I am feeling great, feeling good. And we had these big peaks. Was able to continue to make engaging enough content to where it stayed here at about 1 million views a day. Now it slowly dipped off, as it does, but in comparison to like the 100,000, 200,000 views a day, completely different world. This area right here in the middle, it's filled me with much regret, but it's been something I've had to leave behind. I've had to just get over it. Thank God that we had this big growth here at the end because it made it a lot easier. And also during that time, I learned some valuable lessons of just like trying to appreciate what I had, right? I learned how to separate myself from the channel. I finally figured out that it's not me, right? I was able to separate it, treat it like a job, treat it like a thing that I can manipulate and I can grow. Instead of going from, I need to change what I do to my thumbnails. I need to change how I set the video up. I need to change what I'm reacting to so I can grow it instead of feeling like that I need to change myself. Because that's what it felt like.
Dang. That one hits. So
I got stuck in that a very long time, and then the dark ages of CinnamonToastKen, just refusing to change my content because I felt like I was changing myself at the time. And being able to separate those finally, like my life is completely different from what I put on YouTube, was probably the biggest breakthrough that I had throughout my entire career.
And that's important.
it was almost like once I got to a good place and everything was fine, I'd accepted everything, and I was making videos with you, and everything was happy. Everything started taking off. Like I said, I don't know what caused it to grow. It just kind of seemed like everything started getting viewed at the same time. Like maybe they made a change in the algorithm. I don't know. Everything shot up, and I'm just like, oh, finally.
I saw them wholesome memes, you know what I'm saying? They seen that Dr. Phil coming out, baby. We was red hot.
5 years of suffering, finally. From here, it has kind of, it's not stagnated, but it's at least stayed the same. But I haven't found the thing. It seems to be that I need to take a note from Charlie and those guys and start doing more topical drama-based stuff. Yeah. That seems to be resonating with people that are watching a lot. Because like the thing is, you can't keep doing the same thing. Like going back to like the golden age of CinnamonToastKen, I call it. If I would have been the YouTuber that I am now and understand what I know now through, talking to different YouTubers and like my YouTube rep, they told me like best practices and stuff like that. If I would have known all that back then the channel would probably been a lot different. And then if I go all the way back to like the shout out from Felix, like that was always like such a big moment. And I also wonder like if he never did shout me out and I continued to work on my own, because my channel was still growing at a rate anyway, right?
Right.
Would my channel be less than it is now, or would it be more because of like different motivations and different, what I thought I should do? But ultimately, I shouldn't think of it that way. It's the past. I can't change it. I've learned from these experiences, and continuing going forward, I am in a better place, like as a husband, a father, even a friend, because I know I probably wasn't the best friend during the dark ages either. But all these I see as lessons now. And sure, there are regrettable things. And there are a lot of scars there that I am still sensitive about when I see the comments that get to me, and I feel like I need to like defend myself. But the whole 13, 12 years of content creation that I've done, it's been a ride.
It's been a ride, man.
Yeah. And this just, I don't know, just the whole experience, just kind of a very vague what it's been like to do it. I wanted to share with you guys so that you guys have been watching me forever, kind of give you some insight. And then, of course, Dane, you've been making videos with me, and I appreciate you. Like you're so consistent, Dane. I can't ask for anything more. You're always here, and you're always ready to go.
Literally, probably the only thing in my life that I'm this consistent at is showing up for these videos, man. I don't know what it was. A lot of it I attribute to you and what you've built, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like I've said, like bringing you on and getting you to make videos with me helped a lot. It helped getting me just to have fun with it again instead of just doing it so. Just rinse and repeat every day, record, and so it helped me break out of that. And then, we were doing that content for a while and nothing changed, but then it did, and it's great now, and whatever. Can't ask for more. I feel better. That was therapeutic for me.
That was pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll probably end up making another of these videos in a couple of years because it'll build up again. But yeah, it's just thank you guys very much for continuing to watch the content. If you're new, thank you very much for watching. If you're a content creator out there and you watch through this thing and it's giving you any kind of insight at all about anything, then I'm glad if it helped. If not, whatever. If you need some tips, DM me. It's all good. Anyway, today's your birthday. Happy birthday. So toast to my friends. I love you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
That one hits. Ugh.